how are we seeing the world? And just like Samuel is seeing the world through this human lens as he looks at Eliab and he looks at Saul, our human lens is so tainted by the presuppositions that we've been convinced of in school and in TV and in media. Every single thing that we hear pushes evolution. It's evolutionary theory. It's a rejection of who God is as creator of the world and creator of you and I. So in that, the biggest need for the next generation that's right behind us, because at
Right behind me.
at least me, a Gen Xer,
Not
I'm
him.
probably the last generation that has any Christian context to the world. And my Christian context is still tainted with presuppositions about evolution and from high school. And I can't help it. I can't help it because it's been ingrained in me from the time I was a little kid by the world, not necessarily by the church or my family. But the generations after Generation X, all these kids coming up, they don't have the Christian context. The evidence is clear that the next generation does not have the Christian context, and they have the evolutionary presupposition. So know what they have: no sense of belonging. These are the two things that these generations don't have: no sense of belonging and no sense of identity. And so what does that mean? I don't belong anywhere because I'm just a random clump of material that was put together by chance, and
Without a
when I
purpose.
die, I have nothing. And then they have that's why they struggle with their identity, whether it's transgender ideology or homosexual ideology. They struggle with their identity because they are nothing but a clump of material in their own mind. And that is why the suicide rate is skyrocketing in these generations. And all of us in the church are sitting here looking at this with human eyes and not recognizing this is a Bible, theology, and spiritual issue. And we're not doing our job if our kids are killing themselves because they think they're nothing but a clump of energy material that's just been thrown together, because that's the only presuppositions that are fueling the information that's going through their system. And we're not countering that.
Yeah.
We're not countering that with the truth of Genesis 1 to 11, the truth of a creator, the truth of all the things that we know about Scripture. And then you have these wings of the church that, even as opposed to countering it, are saying, oh yeah, Genesis 1 to 11, well, maybe that is poetry. Poetry, anyone that knows Hebrew knows that that's not poetry.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the people that are making these conclusions don't know Hebrew. That's the issue. You don't know Hebrew. I want a Hebrew scholar, not some guy that read a book in my church to tell me that's poetry. And there is no Hebrew scholars that'll say that's poetry. But there's a bunch of church members that have been convinced by the ideology of the world without understanding Hebrew that that's somehow poetry. And by recognizing that's poetry, now they have pulled the rug out from the creator of the universe and creationism and have opened the door wide to evolution in the church that fuels the presuppositions of all these kids and that just pushes the idea that I'm nothing but material. I have no identity, no purpose. I might as well just freaking blow my brains out today because it doesn't matter. And you watch a good movie? Go watch The Thunderbolts. Seriously,
Yes.
We watched it.
Yes.
We watched The Thunderbolts. And it is a movie about the dark... It's a... Go ahead, Robbie.
No, I
It's
went
a
and saw
movie
this
about
movie.
the dark void of life. And it is telling people essentially that life is nothing but a dark void and to give in to the void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could sit and watch that movie and recognize that any kid that is struggling with evolutionary ideology, watching that says, what does it matter if I freaking blow my brains out? It doesn't, because I have no identity. I don't belong anywhere. The world is just a dark void. I'm isolated. So it doesn't matter. And the problem is, and I am just as guilty, is we throw around these ideologies in Christianity without thinking through the implications of them and without correcting the lie of the world and the devil that is literally torching and train wrecking the next generations.